All right. So why I'm so happy all the time, I have this belief in myself. Okay. Because let me tell you, I have been through some shit. I really have. And a lot of it was, my own making, poor decisions that I made that led me to endure a lot of things that I probably didn't necessarily have to endure, but I gained like experience from doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured out a few things that I can do anything, like anything. Like if it comes to fixing something, working on something, something in the house breaks, any kind of electrical, plumbing, construction, I got it. I've done it before. I can do it again. When it comes to like jobs or something, like I've I've had jobs where I was in when I was a younger man, I was a mortgage broker. I had all these nice shirts and ties and suits to wear to work every day, and I help people with their mortgages, home loans, and stuff. Um, and I've always worked with my hands, so with the experience that I've had, I've realized that there's nothing I can't do. Like life, there's nothing life can throw at me that I can't handle. So it's given me this belief in myself that almost makes me arrogant, cocky. I walk around so cocky because I know I can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it doesn't matter what it is. So I have this belief in myself that um, it's so great to be a man. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I'm happy. I almost feel like I crash landed on this planet because most people, they're not built like me. They don't have that in them. They don't have that drive, that desire, that will, that hunger for more. Like most people are kind of lazy, I think.
Well,
And that may kind of be where my family, my father, you know, like his dad was an Irish immigrant. My grandfather, shout out to Pascal Dempsey, moved here from Ireland. So my dad ate work ethic for breakfast. Okay.
right.
And there was a lot of valuable lessons the man taught me along the way. So I have this code, this morality, these ethics, that was instilled in me, and work ethic is part of that.
Yes.
So I can outwork somebody. Like I've mentioned, I've gotten myself in a lot of trouble before. I've been to jail a few times. I'm not really proud of all that, what I put my mama through. But I'll tell you one thing, it taught me how to fight.
Yes.
Okay. That's another reason that makes me so cocky is because I don't think there's many people that can take me. Okay. You might be bigger than me. Yeah, I mean, sure, there's guys out there that are 6'4". There's guys that work out way more than I do, that hit the gym more than I do. But I am like a pit bull with my tenacity. So I'm certainly not afraid of another man, another person.
Sure.
And I have a hard time almost interacting with other people.
Yeah.
Because if I don't have a certain level of respect for you, I can't fuck with you. Like if I don't respect you as a man, like as a father, a coworker, so I got to have a certain level of respect for you to even interact with you. So most people, they're like I'm not a video gamer. I don't have time for that. I wish I had time to play video games, but I have responsibilities and shit. But
Sure.
people refer to that as non-playable characters, like that's something in a video game. So I go through life with most people around me being NPC, non-playable characters. I can't fuck with them. They don't know nothing about me. They're not on my level. They don't have the kind of depth that I need to even have a basic conversation with them.
Sure.
So, but
Well, uh,
you, you,
that was
you know, one of the things. Go ahead.
that was one of the reasons that I noticed in you immediately. I'm the kind of guy that can run up on somebody, not run up on somebody, see somebody, and I got about 30 seconds and I can figure out pretty much who you are, okay? It's just a gift I've been given. every time I would be around you, I'd say, man, there's nothing fake about this guy. This guy is what he is wearing. And I got the courage to approach you one day. And I just said, why are you so happy all the time? And we went into that conversation. Hey, I can tell you stuff about me. I was a 3-time NASCAR Winston Racing Series championship.
Really?
That was in the late 90s. But yeah, I mean, I've had success at everything I've done. I've had a time where confidence was just blooming out of me. And it seems that women seem to attract to a guy that just has that confidence. So I'm kind of in the middle right now. I don't really know. I'm trying to figure out who I am. I'm 2 years away from being 60. I'm 58. And I'm just trying to figure out who I am in my older life now. I didn't really have a role model to compare myself to at this age. So I'm struggling with it a little bit.
Okay. I can understand that. Confident. Okay. Women, and this is a whole other subject because I kind of view women as a perk of the job. Like there's not a single thing I do for women. Everything I do is for me, from the clothes that I wear to the cologne that I wear to how I personally groom myself. I know a lot of guys do that kind of stuff. They'll buy clothes that they think will make them more attractive to women. And it doesn't matter what you're wearing. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter where you take these women to. Like guys think that they got to take them to fancy restaurants to impress them. And I never understood that. And let me tell you why. Because when you try to impress somebody, anybody, male or female, you're essentially trying to manipulate them. You're trying to get them to believe something about you, a story about you, something that might not necessarily be true. So I never try to impress anybody, but I always seem to come off as impressive, especially to women, because like you said, they notice that confidence.
Sure.
And okay, I think a lot of that, and I don't know how it got this way, but there's been sort of a feminization of society, like not just with the feminist movement, but
I know.
they think that they tell men it's okay to share your feelings.
Yes.
You can tell us how you really feel, and then you start showing weakness in front of them or crying in front of them, they're going to lose respect for you. It might not be at that very second in time, but there will come a time where they're like, man, he's a weak little bitch. So I heard a dude on YouTube, man, gave some really good advice to somebody once. And Steve the Dean Williams, shout out to him. He said, if you're so upset where you like just lost a parent or something and you know, you're going to cry, go out to where the cows are. Cry by yourself so nobody can see it. Man up, come back to your responsibilities when you're done.
Sure.
But okay, so being an older man, your legacy is already cemented. You got a daughter, you got a grandkid that you get to see.
Sure.
So what is it really that, you know, when you say you're trying to find yourself, I'm assuming more of a masculine identity, like what, you know, you need to be all about Jimmy.
Yeah, I think that's something that maybe I didn't say quite correctly. I'm struggling to find out. I mean, my role as a father and a grandfather is set. I know. I feel like I take no time for myself. I feel like I certainly don't have time for another woman that I ever want to move in. But sometimes I wonder, that could be really nice too. I could have somebody prepare me meals at times. I could have somebody do my laundry. But I just don't know. The couple bad experiences, like my house was robbed from a girl that I moved in. Now I can't.
Oh man! All right. Can I ask how long you knew her before you moved her in?
Actually, I knew her from high school. So, and then there was a period of probably 10 years that I never talked to her or whatever. And I couldn't imagine how much 10 years would have changed somebody. I guess my trust level was good. My intention was good, but I had very poor judgment.
How attractive was she?
Not bad. Not bad. She's a pretty good looking girl.
Okay. So do you think that you're more willing to be flexible for somebody that you deem as a good looking girl?
I mean, I don't think that. No, I honestly, that's what I'm telling you, William. I don't know what I'm looking for. You gave me that piece of advice there the last time I saw you at work to just try this out on 10 women, you know?
Yeah.
And
Right.
and so immediately I went to one of our coworkers that I know her situation, and her answer floored me. I'm married, but I don't see a problem with it. And so I did try it out a little bit, and it was kind of funny. So
Okay. So some people have open marriages. Okay. They've been in these boring, stale marriages for so long, and they got kids together, and a divorce is just too messy. So they're willing to have an open marriage. Okay. That's why when you see a woman wearing a ring, you should never automatically assume that you don't have a shot with her because she's got a ring on. Some women wear a ring just to kind of fool you and like weed out the weak ones of the herd.
that is true. A girl I dated shortly after my divorce from my daughter's mother, we were married for 19 years. The girl I was dating after that did that exact same thing. She would wear a wedding ring. Never married. We were boyfriend, girlfriend, had a really good relationship, but she would put a wedding ring on for that exact reason.
She
It
didn't
was
want losers hitting on her all day.
it wasn't
Yeah.
to people I'm off limits, you know.
Yeah.
So
Right. So what are you okay? How do you typically meet women?
you know what? It's been so long since the last girl that I've even interacted with was at work and just started talking to her and da 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 da. And I know you should never put your pen in company ink, but and
Yeah,
that's probably not going to work out anyways. But I just feel like, do I need it? Do I want to go through all of this again? Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe I do.
okay. Okay. So now I always tell young men to stay away from women at the job and women at the gym. And that's because a lot of them don't have like what it takes to, I don't know, survive after the relationship. Because sometimes it'll run its course in a few months, but you still need to work there,
Yeah,
you know. So like I can't say that I've never dated a coworker before. I have, but when things went south with us, like they would be like, "Oh, well, we can't be friends." And absolutely not. I don't
yeah,
have women friends.
right.
Okay, and that's for a few reasons. It's because any women that I'm seeing is certainly not going to be okay with me being friends with another attractive woman, especially one that I had a history with or even slept with before. So, and when you just have that as a rule in your life that you don't have women friends, that you make it a standard for you. So like, hey, nothing personal against you, miss. It's just one of the things I have in my life where I'm not friends with women. We can either date or it, because I kind of look at it as I'm very open and honest with women. I say, look, this is the deal. This is my situation. Here it is. You're either with it or you're not. I'm not flexible at all. I'm
Yeah,
on to the next one. I mean, I've had beautiful women my whole life. So beauty, that doesn't impress me. What
yeah,
impresses me is the content of their character. What
great.
impresses me is when a woman has integrity. What impresses me is when a woman goes out of her way to do something for me,
Sure.
not how she looks. So, I mean, I have a little bit, and I'm big on teaching men on how to vet women because I don't believe that all women deserve to be in your life.
Yeah,
It's kind of like they're applying for a position at a job, you know, and like the job already knows what they want from the applicants. So you kind of already know what you want in a woman.
yeah.
You,
Well,
you
you
just,
said it in your first video that I ever watched was this is the most important decision you're ever going to make in your life is having somebody that you're going to have kids with.
yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people think about that. I really don't.
No, they're not. And young men aren't told that. I was 20 years old when I had my first kid. And let me tell you something. I got a good family. I didn't realize it, you know, how good of a childhood and upbringing I had till well into my 30s. But I really had that Leave It to Beaver kind of child. Like, I had a really good childhood, man. I did. We were all about family. We still are.
Yeah.
But I'm getting off topic here. Sorry about that.
Sorry, my dog had to jump in here too. He was going to.
What's the dog's name?
Jack.
Jack. I like Jack. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
13-year-old rescue that I've had for 7 years. He's the best
okay.
friend I've ever had in my life. He's really a good boy.
All right. Now, so we need to find some women that like Jack too, you know, or maybe even find a woman that's sitting at home right now with a Jill.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
you know,
Jack, I always said that I was going to get another dog and call it Diane, so we could be Jack and Diane.
Jack and Diane. Okay, I like that. Well, I don't know. I would look for a woman. You ever go to PetSmart and meet women? You ever take Jack out to meet women?
No, I don't.
Oh man, dude, I think you're missing an opportunity here.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this boy.
I can't.
You know?
How jealous Jack is, though. If I start to talk to anybody, he really intervenes. He doesn't want to share.
Okay, well, that's all the more reason that when you're meeting women and introducing yourself, you don't want to take too long talking to them. You don't want to interrupt their day. You want to bite them on the neck, drag them up a tree. So the fact that he's going to interrupt you is great because that gives you an excuse to run off. You know, you just introduce yourself. Excuse me, you caught my eye. My name's Jimmy. I'm just wondering if you have anybody in your life would have a problem if I wanted to take you for a drink sometime. You know, and then it's like a yes or no.
Exactly.
And then, you know, with Jack doing what he's doing, that's your excuse to float off. You leave her that number and then float right off. That's how I would do that. But I would try to use the dog more because, look, you don't want some woman to move in with you that's got a bunch of cats, right?
No, no way.
No. So I think you need to incorporate the dog into your vetting process looking for women. You really do because you want someone who's going to be able to take care of him when you're not around.
Sure.
So, and that sounds like you'd be open to a woman with dogs too.
Exactly.
So I would do more around that. I would try to stay away from coworkers, man. I really would. I mean, you're a grown man. You can do what you want. But
no, I really agree.
You know, as long as, you know, you're not lying. I got a big problem with anybody lying about anything. Like, you shouldn't have to lie to get to sleep with a woman. Like, the guys that do that, I can't stand you, and I don't have any respect for you. You know,
no, who I am, I know who I am, and
okay, good. So, what have you? This woman. Let's talk about her for a minute.
Okay.
Okay. What have you asked her out for a drink yet? Then she said, "Yeah." Did you go for a drink?
No, I didn't. But when you had told me that, there's really nobody looming right now. So I had just asked a coworker that question, and her response kind of. And then I have tried a couple other people around that I know it's not anybody I would be interested in dating or whatever, and I got really good mixed responses on how that could be really a good way forward. I mean, I think great line. I just do it. I got to do it with Jack.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So, you know how if I asked you, what's 2 + 2?
4.
Okay. What's 6 + 6?
12.
Okay. See how you did that automatically without thinking about it? That's how you got to get with women.
Okay.
You got to do it automatically. Now, okay, I know a lot of guys are afraid of rejection. Okay. They don't want to be rejected. And I have a hard time understanding this because, like I can't reach out and touch rejection. So I could argue that there's no such thing as rejection.
Yeah, rejection could just be as much as, I'm glad you just said that. It could be just as much as me turning away and walking away and her walking away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where's it going to go
Right.
after? Not like you can take my birthday away from me.
I like that you said that. I like that.
Yeah.
So
it is
I would try to get a little more automatic with it. And when you see something you like, let them know. You got to be honest and upfront. Hey, you caught my eye. Kind of, interested if you have anybody in your life that would mind if we go get a drink sometime, if I take you out for a drink, because you're not looking, like, you should be looking to get rid of them. You should be looking for reasons to move on to the next,
approached it like that. Never even.
That?
I think that's advice.
Okay.
You're looking for a reason not to want to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I'm not very accommodating, especially like the first few dates. Like if she doesn't want to do what I want to do, I'm good. If I'm like, hey, can we go get a drink? And she's like, oh, well, I don't really drink, but we can go to dinner. I'm like, nah, I'm good because dinner wasn't what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Now, if it's what I want to do, like if there's a woman that I've been seeing for a little while and she's consistent and she doesn't blow me off and she doesn't flake on me, I'll invite her to somewhere I'm going anyway. Like if I'm going to a Mexican restaurant or something, I'll invite her to join me. But I'm going anyway, regardless, with or without her. I'm probably going to get there before she gets there. I'm probably going to have a drink. And when she arrives, she's going to see me there comfortable and enjoying myself. So now I know when you're on a date, things can get awkward a little bit. So let me give you a little advice and try to stay away from asking questions. You don't want her to feel like she's on an interview.
Okay.
So what I do, I talk about me the whole time. I talk about what I got going on in my life. Like I said, I'm really open, honest, and upfront about what I got going on with the kids. I have 2 small kids that live with me, because that's a deal breaker for some women. Now, it is, but it isn't. It is because all women are looking at you based on the experiences they've had with all the guys that they've had in their life. Okay. But some of these women have never met a man before. Okay. Never. They've dated a bunch of males, boys who never grew up, whiny crybaby. Like they've never dated somebody that has a foundation, that has a code that they live by, that has rules that, I call it standing on my square. Okay. So like nobody's going to be able to move me off my square. Not a woman, not another man. I'm rooted on my square, what I believe in. I can defend it, and I'm willing to lose somebody in my life over it. So I kind of use that principle like when it comes to women too. So the whole date, I'm talking about me. So if you're not with it, you can go. You're not wasting my time. I'm not wasting yours. Trying to be flexible and make shit work doesn't work. I really don't think it works at all. I mean, it might for a little bit, but then if you get a partner who could take advantage of your kindness. Another thing you got to watch out for, if I'm being honest with you, is women who are expecting you to lead with your wallet, that want you to take them out to nice dinners and stuff like that. You stay away from them altogether. That's why I go with a drink. I ask women to join me for a drink because drinks don't cost much. I'm not spending like $10-12 for 2 drinks. If I'm really enjoying the conversation, I'll buy another 2. And if I'm having a good time, I'm setting up the second date while I'm on the first date. So you always got to have a plan. You can get a woman to follow if you know what you're doing. But if you're like, oh, where do you want to go eat? or what movie do you want to see? Then you don't have a plan. You're following them. You're following their lead, and that's not what they want. They really don't. They want someone to say, I'll be there at 7, put on that little thing I like, and know that you completely got everything planned for the night. You got it covered. All they got to do is show up in appropriate attire. So,
Sounds like some awesome advice.
okay. Well, look, I'd like to do this again sometime. You know,
Sure.
if you give me some feedback on some of the stuff that we talked about.
Absolutely, we can do that. Let's plan on that.
Okay, good. So, you got any questions? Is there anything you want to ask me before we get off of here?
No, other than I mean, just some work-related stuff. That's another thing I wanted to bring up before we leave here. You put some ideas in my mind at work that I never even thought about. So on how to be better there, you know,
Good.
like shuffling stuff around, jigsaw puzzle, da 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 da. You know, everybody's done the low-hanging fruit stuff. Not everybody reaches up and tries to get the stuff that's the most ripest, right?
Right.
And I wanted to thank you for that. You have been a big help for me, and I look forward to doing this again. I am going to really try to have some interesting stuff to talk to you about, maybe with a couple different subjects. So
okay, write anything down you want to. Okay, and we'll get into it next time. And I really appreciate you taking the time to do this for my YouTube channel. I am going to put this up on YouTube because I want other men to be able to watch this and learn from it.
Sure.
You know.
Yep, I appreciate you taking the
time. Right now, my channel isn't monetized. I don't get anything from YouTube. I do stuff like this because I think a lot of men don't have mentors today, especially younger men. And I think society is leading them astray. Well, so I do this to just try to the betterment of men.
Well, and that's another thing I told you off the get. When I stumbled across your stuff, it was like, he's for real. Sitting behind this camera ain't an act. This is how he carries himself every day. There's people on here that you can see that are fake, and you're not that at all. This is how you are every day.
I appreciate you telling everybody who's going to see this that. I really do. Thank you, Jimmy.
Cheers.
All right. You have a good day, sir. I'm going to get off of here. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right.
Bye.